kind of stinks when we're 7 minutes late. We still have to do a 30-second countdown to make sure that we're 7.5 minutes late. But such is life. Such is life.
Trekcast.
The galaxy's most unpredictable Star Trek podcast.
I don't hear any music. There it is. There's the music.
There we are.
Hello and welcome to Trekcast, the galaxy's most unpredictable Star Trek podcast. I am one of your hosts, Buck Bokai. With me, as always, apparently is also Buck Bokai and Daniel. So Buck, and Dan. Buck, and Daniel.
What's up, Bucky?
Or is it Buck, Daniel, Buck? What's the order? How do you want to do it?
We're gonna have to figure this out. Yeah.
I figure alphabetical, right?
Yeah.
So
we'll do alphabetical.
Did you see me in the thing and
no,
do this?
No,
or did you do that on
I
your own?
swear to God, I didn't. I'm just like, I was looking at the one from last week. I'm like, Moopsy. Well, I don't have Moopsy today, so I need to change my username. And
right.
I'm like, what are we doing today? Oh, we're talking about baseball. What's the only baseball Trek name I know?
Buck Bokai. All right.
Bokai.
For those who don't know, Buck Bokai played for the London Kings.
Yep.
In the fictional baseball team in the Star Trek universe, he was Sisko's favorite player. I think he played with him on the holodeck or something, or
yep.
He showed up in an episode where
in the Rumpelstiltskin episode, right?
Yeah. Some aliens were taking stuff from. Yeah, there's Buck Bokai.
There he is, the great Buck Bokai.
The great Buck Bokai.
Yep.
That's great.
Oh, well.
So we're late because it's my fault. So sorry, guys.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
it's fine. Daniel had to run out and meet his bookie.
That's right. That's right.
Get all his.
I had to put all my money on Taylor Swift. She's gonna win tonight.
You know what's crazy? People are getting mad.
Yeah,
they're getting mad that a 25-year-old girl is going to the Super Bowl. Shut up. So what?
Exactly.
Who
cares? Whether you like her, you don't like her. I mean, I know who Taylor Swift is. I couldn't name a Taylor Swift song for you if I tried. If I heard them on the radio, I could probably pick her out and say, "Oh yeah, I think this is Taylor Swift." But
as long as you don't have bad blood with her, we're good.
You're not an ex-boyfriend of Taylor Swift, are you?
Yeah. Huh?
What's that?
Well, if you're an ex-boyfriend of Taylor Swift, you're definitely going to hear about it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. You'll be the enemy, the anti-hero.
Yeah. So as long as none of us have dated her, we should all be okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I guess it's just
she signed some NDAs. We're good.
It's so weird. It's so weird that there's people that are just like they hate her.
Yeah.
For what though?
Well, that's the thing. They hate her for no reason.
Yeah.
That's the weird thing. Like I don't really have an opinion of her that much.
Yeah.
Like I don't,
I kind of feel like she should be doing the halftime show though, not Usher, but
Well,
I think that I think people would be more crazy.
Oh, do you think they would? Yeah, they would lose their crap.
Yeah, the way people scream about nepotism and stuff nowadays. They're like, oh,
right. The only thing I know about Taylor Swift, I don't know if I mentioned this, if this is a conversation I had with you guys or somebody else, but the only thing that I remember reading about her a couple of weeks ago was she was at a football game in one of the boxes because she's Taylor Swift, and there was a bunch of other people, and she stood up and went to the bathroom and went to get a drink or something, and as she left, she went around and picked up a bunch of empty cups and plates and threw them away.
Okay.
And when I read that, I'm like, oh, okay. So she didn't get the diva memo, which is good.
Yeah.
So I respect that more about her than any song I may or may not have.
Yeah. So hopefully,
I know if Dan was in that same box, he would be like, That's for the little people to take care of.
I got people for that.
That's right. That's right.
I got people for that. One of them is named Daniel. The other one is also named Buck Bokai.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, we would pick up after you. Absolutely.
Jazz is
Swifty-
Swifties.
Swifties? Is that like a Trekkie, but a Taylor
That's
Swift?
fans of Taylor
Is it
Swift. They're called Swifties.
Yeah, I think so.
Swifties?
I think
All
so.
right. Well, you know,
Well, whatever.
whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Are you guys doing anything for the big game tonight?
Just having some friends over.
Yeah, going to the in-laws where we eat like bar food.
Nice.
Usually we'll just do a spread of bar food.
Yeah.
My daughter is young enough that she knows absolutely nothing about football and even less about the Super Bowl. So if you ask her, we're going to a pizza party. So you know, and I mean, I'm
welcome to Swiftcast.
Yeah, I'm
All
more
Taylor
excited
Swift
about
all
the
the
pizza
time.
than the game. So
Yeah. Same. I just want to see the movie trailers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully we get
That's
the Deadpool one. That's the one I'm hoping for.
Yeah.
Very much so. I just watched the Marvels, and it
Oh
was
yeah, what do you
good.
think?
I liked it. It was good.
Yeah, it's fun.
It had a very cool end credit scene that I won't spoil, but yeah, it was. I thought it was a good movie. I don't understand the hate on it. I don't understand the 2-star reviews. I think it was a perfectly serviceable
I
MCU
think
movie.
it was the victim of there was too many lesser Marvel outings recently. And so people have just had it.
Yeah.
But it was a perfectly fine film.
Also, I don't hate
haven't
Brie Larson like everybody else does.
That's true. She gets insane hate.
Yep.
I haven't seen it yet. I fully plan to see it. I didn't see it in the theater.
It just came out on Disney Plus, so
yeah. I think a lot of the hate is just left over from the last one.
Yeah,
you know?
Sure.
They brought the character into the MCU halfway through the fourth quarter, to use a football term. Halfway through the fourth quarter, and had her swoop in as a somewhat of a savior. And it's like, hey, they've been building this franchise for 10 years at this point. Who is this person that swoops in at the last minute? So I think a lot of it stems from that.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. But yeah, I thought it was pretty good. Even T-Bear says he thought the Marvels was good. He doesn't get the hate either. So
yeah. And while I didn't watch it, somebody online ruined the post-credit scene for me months and months
that
and
got
months
ruined.
and months ago.
Yeah.
As they always do.
It's really weird that they're bringing Abraham
My wife
Lincoln
is looking
into
at me
the
like
MCU.
I'm an idiot because I'm like, oh look, I know that character.
Right on.
Yeah.
Well, should we get to the news?
Absolutely.
Sure.
Star Trek news.
All right. So our first news story is for Dan. We're getting some more talk about Star Trek Discovery. I know you want to know about.
For those listening, I got really excited when he said he had a story for me, and my I just collapsed when I heard it's a Discovery.
That's
story
right.
because everyone knows my posture just completely changed.
Indeed.
I don't care.
Like a gut check, yeah. So they interviewed Sneakle Martin Green over on TrekMovie.com, and she talked a little bit about what we can expect for Discovery Season 5. She, every year, big things are coming. But one thing that she said that I'm really surprised was kind of bearing the headline. She talked about a tonal shift for Discovery. What does that mean? Will they be more lighthearted? Will they have more fun? I don't know. But there's going to be a tonal shift. So
they're going to travel further in the future, and they're going to make her cry even more.
That's right.
Big shift.
Yeah. So that's that. I thought that was kind of interesting. I guess we'll see. I did see that they announced in I think it's April 4th or the release date for Star Trek Discovery Season 5.
Okay.
Yeah. So early April.
The day before First Contact.
Yeah, just in time, right?
Mm.
But yeah, so I'm trying to see if I can find. But yeah, so early April we'll have it, and we'll start reviewing those episodes.
Cool.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah. The next story
Just it is.
The next story comes to us from GameRant.com, and they interviewed John Delancey, Q, about Star Trek Legacy. We're kind of getting a mixed bag about this. So in the Delancey interview, he is not very. He doesn't think it's going to happen. He thinks that at this point they've missed their window, and if the fans really push for it, maybe, but he doesn't see it happening. But also this week, Terry Matalas was interviewed at the Saturn Awards, and he was much more chipper about it. He said that they have already allocated money for like Academy and their other projects, but there's nothing on the table right now for Legacy. But he thinks, could be though. Fans really want it, so I guess we'll wait and see. So,
I don't think the window has closed.
No, of course the window is not closed.
Picard season 1 dropped, 20 years after Star Trek Nemesis.
Right.
Okay. That window is open, and it's painted open,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, it's not going anywhere.
Right.
That window is always open.
Right.
Always
Also,
open.
the people that decide, at whatever studio owns Trek now, it's always hard to tell with who owns, as far as like parent companies and stuff. But anyways, if you want a good barometer of what your fans want, go online and look at the fan art, because there's a ton of fan art depicting Star Trek Legacy. They got some awesome, fan made posters that look amazing, and it's like I said, if you want to take the temperature, look at the fan art. Everybody's making fan art about Star Trek Legacy with the
for sure.
7 of 9s and the Raffies and the Jack Crushers and stuff, and the Enterprise, and just take a look at that. That's where that's the direction. You want to know what direction to go? There you go. There's your sign.
Yeah. Well,
just don't take temperature with a barometer. You can take barometric pressure with a barometer.
That's right. Thank you.
Sorry, did I mix up my
You did.
meteorological?
Yeah.
Sorry, my tricorder settings were a little off.
Yeah, I would explain the settings. Yes. All right.
How do you scan with this thing again? I forgot.
That's not a tricorder.
Just hold it up to your forehead.
Yeah,
You'll get the temperature.
Don't do that. Oh, somebody called it.
Warning, nerd alert.
T-Very gave you a nerd alert for the barometer and the temperatures. So.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
All right, and our last news story.
I host a Star Trek. I host a Star Trek podcast, and you think calling me a nerd hurts my feelings?
Exactly.
We are past that. We
That's
are
a
way
past
past that.
For sure. All right, our last news story comes to us from trekmovie.com, and they recently interviewed Nicolas Cage. So if you remember, like maybe a month or so ago, he did an interview where he talked about how he's a Trekkie and he would love to do Star Trek. So they were following up with him saying, hey, so what's up with that? And he basically came out and said, yeah, he's had some talks about it. He's interested. If he's going to do it, he wants to be on the bridge of a ship, preferably the Enterprise, but he's down. So now that we're on our 15th rendition of Star Trek 4, maybe they'll put him in. I don't know.
Here's the thing, though.
Yeah.
Someone with his level of fame, if you're going to have him on the bridge of the Enterprise, he's going to want to be the captain of that ship. It's not going to be, and Nicolas Cage as Helmsman Brown. That's not going to happen. And as far as them making a new version of Star Trek with the Enterprise built around Nicolas Cage, I don't know. I don't know if I see that.
He's also open to being a villain and just having his own ship.
I thought he said he wanted to.
He preferably.
I thought he had said he wants to be on the bridge of the Enterprise.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just had a perfect idea.
Who shows up there and takes over.
We could fulfill all of Nicolas Cage's fantasies by making it a crossover, and it can be the crew of the USS Enterprise against the Injustice version of Superman.
There you go.
Played by Nicolas Cage.
Boy.
Yeah.
Tell me that's not gold.
Boy.
I mean, nope. And for those
So
of you who don't know,
I gotta ask.
Nicolas Cage was going to play Superman in like a 1990s Tim
And he
Burton.
got to in The Flash.
And he got to in The Flash. Yeah.
T-Bear says he'd make a great Admiral.
His likeness got to.
Yeah.
Yeah. He could do a cameo, or like, like in Star Wars when 007 played a stormtrooper,
right?
Craig Daniels, something like that. If he really wants to be, he can do a cameo as like a really done up alien or something. But he's not going to be some kind of front man. He's not going to be some kind of, not going to work.
Yeah,
I don't know. We should. He's got a reputation right now of pretty much doing anything that's put in front of him.
Pretty much,
because he's had some financial trouble. So we should find out what it would cost to get him on this show.
How's that Kofi account looking?
Yeah, how's it looking?
I'm gonna see if he's got a cameo.
Oh, there you go.
Maybe we can. Yeah, it's not looking like it.
I like it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I would love him to be a villain. I think he'd make a great villain. I don't know what you would. I'd have to think about it a little bit before I'd say what to do with him.
I want to see him as a starship captain, a Starfleet starship captain, but his last name has to be Poe, and he has to be a descendant of Cameron Poe from Con Air. That's my only.
Yeah. Okay.
What if we do a face-off with Kirk?
Steve Buscemi has to be in it too.
Let's do face-off with
He can play a Romulan.
Yeah, he plays Kirk at first, and then he swaps with Chris Pine.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, face off in space.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Space off.
Take his face off.
That's right. He's got the golden guns.
Golden phasers.
Yeah.
I'm going to be perfectly honest with you.
Yeah.
I know exactly what movie you're talking about.
You've never seen it.
Never seen it. Zero desire.
Classic.
As soon as I saw it, I was like, the premise of this is so ridiculous.
It's probably the most realistic movie I've ever seen.
Indeed.
Okay.
I mean, it's up there with Fast and Furious 10.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Which I haven't seen yet.
Great, terrible movie, man.
Yeah, but that's what makes it. It's one of those movies you got to watch because,
Okay.
He steals the Federation charter, which he paid the treasure map.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I like that, T-Bear.
I like that answer. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. He goes, he finds Jonathan Archer, who's like 300 years old, asks him to read the inscription on the back and decipher it for him because you were there.
They could pay off the line from the 2009 Star Trek and find Porthos. They finally find it.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
So there you go.
Redeemed Scotty.
All right. Well, that's the end of the news. Let's get to our main topic.
Yes, please.
All right.
Fun will now commence.
Now, I spent all night writing a plot summary, so can I read it?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, here we go.
Probably say what we're talking about first.
Yeah, okay,
Where do
go
you
ahead.
think you are?
Yeah. So we for the big game today, we had a sports theme review. So we reviewed was it season 7, episode 4 of Deep Space Nine?
Yep.
Take Me Out to the Holodeck. That's the baseball episode.
Holosuit.
Yeah.
Come on.
There you go. All right.
Take
We're
me
not
out to the barometer.
Daniel.
Oh, my bad. Okay, Scott, take it away with your recap.
Okay. I apologize if this is wordy. Here's the plot summary for this is Star Trek Deep Space Nine, Season 7, Episode 4, Taking Out the Holosuit. You ready?
Yep.
A Vulcan captain challenges Cisco to a game of baseball.
That's accurate. Yes. Yes.
I might have plagiarized that from IMDb.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. You can be president now.
So yeah, it's I don't know, man. It's one of my favorite episodes.
It is also one of my favorite
Yeah.
episodes.
It is.
Too. It's great. It's
It is.
as far as Deep Space
It is
Nine
a great
episodes and
episode.
episodes that were a little weren't taken too seriously. This is right up there with the Vic Fontaine episode where they have to fix Vic Fontaine's life. I really enjoyed it, and it was perfect in that it's right smack dab in the middle of the Dominion War, and it's
Yes.
you know it gets real serious after this, a little bit
Yeah.
with Chrysalis, and then after that it's all
Yeah.
the Federation
This
mostly
is like the
almost
last
dying.
one before it gets intense.
Yeah.
But you know what? Flipping through the episodes to find it, it just reminded me that, we used to get 25 episodes per season for Star Trek.
Now we get that for series.
How spoiled were we?
Oh, for sure.
And we didn't even know it. To the point where, yeah, they can do an episode like this. They can just put an hour aside and say, we're gonna do a baseball episode. It's gonna be totally nonsensical. We're gonna do a baseball episode.
Now they're like, we're gonna do a musical episode.
Well, yeah, but Strange New Worlds is the only one that does stuff like that, because they've gone back. We've talked about that. They've gone back to the old format. Right. I wish they'd go back to the old format and go back to the old number of episodes. Yeah. Think of what we could get from Strange New Worlds if they took the episode count and multiplied it by 2.5.
Yeah.
Yeah. It would be, there would be room for episodes like this. Some people argue that it's quality over quantity. How many episodes do you need to tell the story of an entire year? But I'm all about more Trek. Whatever, I'll gobble it up.
But some of my favorite episodes have nothing to do with the ongoing story, like this one.
Right.
The one you were just talking about, where they do the heist at the casino to save Vic Fontaine, the Magnificent Ferengi. That one, as far as rewatchability, I love that one. I love that one. Quark, Ram, and Nog get a bunch of Ferengi idiots together and go to the other Deep Space Nine to rescue Moogie.
Yeah. Yep.
That's gold, baby. It's gold.
Well, according to the Hollywood Reporter, this was
comedy gold.
The 16th best out of 20 episodes, out of the 20 top episodes. So this ranked 16th. Yeah. So it's very well received.
Yeah.
I did have some trivia questions for you guys.
Sure.
So,
shoot.
All right, we'll do a few. Let's start a little bit simple. What was the name of Jake Sisko's sports nickname?
The Slider.
There you go. There you go. Okay.
Bring it on.
What flavor of gum did Miles O'Brien make?
Scotch.
Okay. What was the name of the Vulcan team?
The Logicians.
The Logicians.
There you go. Nice.
Yep.
That's all I had.
Yeah.
I just wrote down, I jotted down some thoughts in no particular order.
Sure.
Some of them are, some of them are things to talk about. Some of them are just things that I went, that captain, he's a Starfleet officer. He was wearing a Starfleet uniform, but they referred to him being on a Vulcan ship.
Yeah.
Yeah. And referred to there being a Vulcan station. Like, if you don't want to get your repairs done here, there's a Vulcan station 10 miles down the road, head over there. So, excuse me. the station may be like a Vulcan high command station, but the ship he's commanding is clearly a Federation starship,
Right.
staffed completely by Vulcans.
Mm-hmm.
How racist is that? How is seriously though? How is that allowed?
Yeah.
I mean, if you think of starships, and if you think of a starship as a military base,
Mm-hmm.
okay, so Scott, you were in the Army, so
Sure.
the base commander is usually what, like a colonel?
Yep.
Which is the naval equivalent, which is the Army equivalent of a naval captain.
Captain, yeah.
So, Yep. Did you ever serve on any Army bases where the colonel who commanded the base was white and said, "I'm only having white officers on this base"?
And that's a very good point. That's a very good point. And I've thought about this because I think we talked about this, or you guys talked about this a couple of years ago about this particular episode in the all Vulcan crew. And I do have a counterpoint to it. I was part of the reserves, the Army Reserves, but we also have something called the National Guard. And say the Michigan National Guard, for example, any Army unit that's in the Michigan National Guard is comprised of all Michiganders. Okay.
Oh, okay.
It's an all Michigander unit. Same with any National Guard around the country. For the most part, if you're part of the Florida National Guard or the Idaho National Guard or the New York National Guard, it's comprised of all New Yorkers. Now, in Star Trek, this is a little suspect. And the only thing I can think of is every Federation planet, and there's 150 of them, might have their own Starfleet National Guard type thing going on. So, they have their own bases where they can protect themselves, where the state or the planet, if something happens to Vulcan, the Vulcan president or the Vulcan governor can say, hey, we need to call in the Vulcan Starfleet National Guard. And that's part of the Starfleet National Guard. That's the only thing I can think of. The Air National Guard, whatever it is.
Yeah, I get it.
So, if you're looking for an explanation, that's the best one I can come up with.
Yeah. So what you're saying,
BS,
so what you're saying is that this ship is not staffed by people who are Vulcan by race. These are people who are Vulcan by residency.
That's what I'm guessing.
Like if I was an Andorian who immigrated to Vulcan and I live on Vulcan and I joined the National Guard, I would be on the Vulcan National Guard because that's where I live and I would serve on this ship.
Yeah.
Okay.
T-Bear's asking if they can divide the military by state.
Divide the military by state. I'm not sure I understand the question.
Well, okay. So for a little bit of clarification, the Army, just the Army specifically, is divided up into 3 sections. There's the regular Army. That's the full-time Army. Those are your guys who serve every day at your regular bases. There's the reserves, which is like the regular Army, except they only serve 1 week in a month, 2 weeks a year, out of a reserve base somewhere near their home. And both of those are federally funded. The National Guard, each state's National Guard is federal and state funded. And that's what the difference is. They all go to the same basic training. They all use the same equipment, the same uniforms, everything. It's just the difference between the National Guard and the regular Army and the reserves is the National Guard is state funded. So if there's a state disaster, the governor has the authority to call upon their own state National Guard.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Scott, let me ask you something. Does Michigan have a Michigan Guard? Not the Michigan National Guard, but the Michigan Guard.
Not that I know of.
New York has another component called the New York Guard.
Okay.
Which these are state military officers. They answer to the governor. The difference between they're a component of the National Guard. The difference is they cannot be federalized. They only answer to the governor.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't heard of that. So they couldn't be deployed to like a foreign nation if the governor. Okay.
They can only be deployed stateside. They can only be mainly deployed within their state. They can be lent out to another state, but they cannot go overseas.
But they are military.
They're
not military.
They are state military. They do not. The federal government is not in their chain of command. Is never in their chain of command. They cannot be federalized.
Okay.
Right.
So they're paid for, trained exclusively by New York.
Yes.
Okay.
Most of them are retired. Most of them are retired.
I just looked to see if
military.
Idaho had anything like that, and we don't. It's
No.
Idaho National Guard.
It sounds like a state-sponsored militia.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, like a legitimate state-sponsored militia. Okay.
Although New York's got some interesting things like that. Like I heard recently that was it the New York City Police have offices in other cities, like around the world. Like they have one in Sydney, Australia, and a few other ones.
I know. After 9/11,
yeah,
they did a lot of proactive anti-terrorism stuff.
Yeah.
Where you have NYPD detectives in Europe on on like intel task forces and things like that. So I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah.
Do you have an office on Vulcan? Or does the Vulcan High Command have an embassy in New York, I wonder?
We don't talk
maybe.
about it.
Yeah. The Ferengis bought their way in.
Hey, we are way off topic.
Indeed.
Let's talk about some baseball on the Holosuit.
I'm sorry. Was that a little too on the nose?
Yeah.
That's okay.
I tried to make it as subtle as I could.
Yeah, for sure. It was very subtle. Very subtle. All right.
So Cisco is a recipient of the Christopher Pike Medal for Valor.
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
I thought it was cool that they gave a nod to Pike. And what's best, what's interesting to realize is this episode was shot in like 1997, probably.
Yeah. Yep.
At that point, Christopher Pike had appeared in the Lost Pilot of Star Trek and the Menagerie. That's it. That's it. There was no Star Trek 09. There was no Star Trek Into Darkness. There was no Strange New Worlds. Nothing.
Yep.
Nothing.
That was a deep cut back then.
Yeah, that was a very deep cut back then.
This episode originally aired October 19th, 1998.
Okay. That was close.
Yeah, very close.
Now, I've got some Trek facts for you for this episode too. Leads into that. Like Daniel said, it was October 19th, 1998, which was during the 1998 World Series.
Oh.
So there was a little bit of a connection there.
Was Taylor Swift there?
I'm not sure Taylor Swift was
I don't think she was
out
alive.
of diapers back in 98, but
yeah.
She might not have been born yet.
Right.
Let's see. It was the outdoor scenes in the holodeck were played at Loyola Marymount University, which is in Los Angeles, California.
Yeah.
And this is the most interesting fact I came across. Rom, played by Max, I can never get his name right. Grodenchik. Grodenchik. It's although Rom is showed in the episode as being the worst baseball player that he is. However, he was the best baseball player among the cast and crew. He even was considering a career in professional baseball.
Oh wow!
And so he was actually the best baseball player. So he had a hard time acting like he was bad. So he ended up just Max is right-handed. Rom is throwing the ball left-handed. So he had to switch his hands to make himself look a little bit awkward.
So is that why Cisco was such a dick to him? Because man, that's uncomfortable to watch.
Sometimes, yeah.
And actually, Max isn't the only baseball player. Avery Brooks, Sirach Lofton, Armin Shimmerman, and Aaron Eisenberg are all accomplished baseball players.
Oh wow!
So, I thought it was interesting that they actually had a bona fide baseball player. It says here in some of the IMDb trivia too that Nana Visitor, however, was completely inept at the game, and Nicole DeBoer was not much better. Dax.
Yeah.
So those are some of the facts that I had for this episode.
If you look at the ball they're playing with, it has a Starfleet Delta.
Yeah.
On the ball.
Yeah.
So right down to the ball, it's a Starfleet issue ball.
Yep.
I'm just looking at the
sure
things
somebody bought that in an
I
auction.
jotted down. Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I thought it was really cool that they chose Odo to be the umpire. I think that was just a perfect bit of writing.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed when he ejected Cisco from the game, and Cisco objected, and he quoted the rules verbatim, and then without pausing after the definition of the rule, he just said, "Look it up, but do it in the stands.
Yeah.
You're gone."
He had been waiting to say something like that.
Right?
Yeah.
And I also found it interesting that when Cisco gets ejected, because O'Brien is the batting coach and the first base coach or whatever, he becomes the coach.
Yeah.
And if you think about, so the majority of the people there are Starfleet officers. If you think about the chain of command, he is literally the lowest ranking Starfleet officer in that game.
Yeah.
Because he's enlisted, everyone else is an officer, and now he's in charge giving orders.
Yeah. Well, they all respect
that was yeah.
So running through the episode chronologically, can we kind of do a rundown of the episode itself? Kind of go through it from the beginning, middle, and end?
Sure.
Go for it.
So, the episode obviously starts when, it's in the middle of the war, and one of the, I forgot the name of the ship that's crewed by the Vulcan captain, but
Tekumbra.
Yep. So they come aboard, and Cisco and this captain are old rivals back from the academy days, and he challenges Cisco to a game of baseball, and Cisco obviously is very worked up about this, and recruits all of the senior staff and even Quark to play a game against the Vulcans. And they all agree to do it, and he asked Odo to be the umpire because he wanted somebody who could be completely unbiased, and he didn't want a computer calling the game. So what are some of the highlights going into that part of the episode we can talk about? Just because I normally when we talk about episodes like this, we jump from the beginning to the end to the middle, to the beginning to back again. So I just wanted to go through.
Yeah, sure. So I'm reading on the IMDb or on the Wikipedia that the reason they made this episode was because of series co-creator Michael Piller. Apparently, he's a giant baseball fan. It was based on a fun idea from Ira Stephen Bear, who apparently had written a very similarly themed baseball episode on a show called Fame. That episode was called The Old Ball Game. So, yeah. That's kind of interesting.
So we find out, so the majority of the episode takes place in the 2 weeks between the arrival of the Tekumbra and the game. So we see the practice, we see the team practicing, and it's a Bad News Bears type story. You've got
very much so.
You got, you got the pitcher who knows what he's doing. 3 Ferengi who have never played baseball in their life, a Klingon who, while he's physically strong, he doesn't know baseball. He's never played baseball, which is a little surprising. He grew up on Earth.
Yeah,
but I guess baseball is a lost. Yeah, I guess baseball is kind of lost in time.
He did play soccer.
Yeah, we know he played soccer.
Yep, because he killed that kid.
That's right.
To keep this light.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, keep it light. Thanks.
Yeah.
So we find out as Cisco gets frustrated throughout this 2 weeks trying to train this team, we find out through a conversation between him and Cassidy. Well, let me back up. Rom does terrible, and Cisco throws him out of the tryouts. That's what I remember. That's
hit
what
anything, can't throw anything, can't catch anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I was referring to when I said Cisco was a dick to Rom.
Right. This is supposed to be a friendly game.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And we find out it's not friendly.
Mm-mm.
It's not friendly at all. Solak
No.
has taken every opportunity over the last 20 years to embarrass Cisco whenever he can because of a bar fight they got into back at the academy. Cisco was intoxicated, picked a fight with this Vulcan, or accepted a fight with this
wrestling
Vulcan,
match.
challenged him. Yeah. Got his ass handed to him because
as Penny Johnson's Cassidy Ace pointed out, a Vulcan is 3 times as strong as a human.
And they're faster too.
Yep.
Yeah. So what we find out, there's a couple of scenes where not everybody is involved. We find out the rest of the team agrees that the captain was a jerk, and they're not going to play in the game. They're if Rom's not playing, they're not playing.
And that's what they tell Rom.
Yep. And Rom says, no, you guys play. I want to watch you play. We find out through the conversation between Cisco and Cassidy. She wants to know what's up with him. You're acting like a jerk. And he confides in her that Solak has made his life hell every time he's seen him for the last 20 years. He swears her to secrecy. She immediately turns around and
tells everybody.
Tells everybody.
Yeah.
And they say, let's win one for the Gipper.
That's right.
They vow to go in there and give it the old college try, do the best they can. It's a futile gesture. They're getting whooped.
Oh yeah.
They're getting whooped by the Vulcans, at which point Cisco decides it doesn't matter. It is a friendly game. Just treat it like a friendly game. Right. Have a good time. And what will get under a Vulcan's skin better than anything is being illogical in their presence and having a good time. That's what they do. And
Cisco has a moment.
And even though
he's sitting in the stands, and he's sitting kind of near Rom, who he kicked out, and Cisco's been kicked out because he got kicked out by Odo for making physical contact with him, and he kind of has this. Rom kind of says, "Boy, this looks like a lot of fun," and that's when it sort of dawns on Cisco, fun. Yeah, that's what this game is about. That ultimately it's about heart and it's about fun. And he sort of has this moment where he's like, "I got an idea. Let's do something different here."
Yeah.
So that brings me to I wanted to real quick talk about the crowd. Now, during the episode, during training, there was no crowd. Makes sense. Solak came by to scout them at one point while the Niners were practicing. But then during the game, there's a big crowd. And when I don't remember what my thoughts were when I first saw this episode back in the 90s, but subsequent viewings, I thought to myself, this should be, I think there's something like 10,000 people on the space station, plus another, 500 to 1,000 Vulcans serving on the Vulcan ship.
Right.
Why was this not the biggest thing to happen on the station in a decade? I mean, they had 2 weeks because word got around.
Because nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
Cisco and Solak. That's part of the stories. And nobody cares except these two guys.
Right.
And the 10 people they ordered to take part in this game. Right?
Quite possibly the last baseball game ever played.
And they did it in different ways. I imagine, because it happened off screen. I imagine Solak summoned his senior staff and said, I'm engaging in an experiment with the humans on this station. You will assist me with this experiment.
That's right.
That's it. That was the only discussion.
Yeah.
That was
Okay.
That was all we talked about.
Whereas Cisco said, assemble the senior staff, and the senior staff shows up plus Nog. I didn't get that at the time, but whatever. They want him for,
Yeah.
And he says, we're gonna play baseball, and he's really excited about it.
Yeah.
At which point all of his subordinates go, the boss is really excited about this shit. I guess we're excited too.
Yeah. Which
Right,
one's first
right.
base? Yeah.
Yeah. But when it comes down to it, there's only 2 people on that holodeck who give a shit about this game.
Yeah.
Well, 3 if you count Rom, because he seems
Yeah.
to be really, really excited about it. One thing I noticed about the crowd, which I probably didn't notice this when I first watched it, but that crowd is 100% absolutely. Yeah, we'll talk about that, T-Bear.
Yeah.
That crowd is absolutely 100% plucked off the street in 1997.
Oh, yeah.
It absolutely looks like 1997. And at the time, I probably watched it and said, they probably went outside the soundstage onto the sidewalk and just grabbed people off the street.
Central
Said, hey,
cast, you just got a bunch of extras.
Come watch a pretend baseball game.
You want to make $100?
But yeah, so the Holosuit, we've seen what the Holosuit looks like when it's turned off.
Right.
The distance from the umpire behind home plate to the center fielder cannot be contained within the holodeck. So
Right.
I think it would have made more sense if like they went down to Bajor and played the game. But
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
whatever.
And then it would have been a big deal because the emissary is playing some old sport that they never.
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, then they would have had to have
Exactly.
like Yankee Stadium to fill in for,
Mhm.
instead of some small college.
Well, they're down in LA, so they get Dodger Stadium.
Or Dodger Stadium.
Yeah.
Oh, but
And I'm sure that's cheap.
So I love how Worf is still Worf.
Yep.
When they can't find the Vulcan who forgot to tag home plate, and Nog says, what do I do?
what do I do?
Find him and kill him.
Find him and kill him. That was one of my favorite moments in all of Star
Find him and
Trek,
kill
because
him.
Worf was 100% serious.
That
Yeah.
he's still Worf when they're razzing the batter. Swing, batter, wee, batter, wee, batter, wee, batter. Death to the opposition.
Yes.
He's still Worf.
Worf was the most Worf in this episode.
He's still Worf.
Yeah, I loved him in this episode. He sure did give it all.
Yeah. Somebody on the Instagram account said that if they played the game on Bajor, Kai Wynn would throw the first ball.
Oh yeah. You don't want to see that.
She would have worked her way into that.
Yeah. It's coated with poison, but
Right.
But hey,
do we want to
sing the
address the
national anthem.
Holosuite thing?
Huh?
What's
the
that?
Holosuite being too small?
Oh,
I have.
Yeah,
T-Bear
I
said
just
that.
Yeah.
I just said that.
No, I'm talking about the technical thing.
Oh yeah.
I wanted to nerd out about it a little bit. I've read the technical manual of the Enterprise D talks about the holodeck a little bit.
Okay.
And from my understanding, if the holosuites are the same as the holodecks, they can create forced perspective changes.
Right.
So even if you're only 10 feet apart, the holodeck can create sort of a prism effect and make the person that's 10 feet apart, that's 10 feet away from you, look even further away. So the holodeck is really good at forced perspective changes. So as long as you can physically fit so many people inside the holosuite, which I also like to point out that I think the holosuites are generally larger than the holodecks on the Enterprise D. Huh?
You said you read one of the tech manuals?
Yeah.
Warning, warning, nerd alert, nerd alert.
Yep, that's for you.
Yeah.
That
Cover
is
to
all
cover.
you.
Cover to
So
cover.
here's the thing. I have seen that. However, you're standing at home plate. You hit a ball. You hit a ground ball up the third baseline.
Uh-huh.
You run full speed towards first base. The distance between home plate and first base is too big for the holodeck.
Mhm.
If the ground and your perspective are changing underneath your feet and in front of your face, I mean, you're gonna get dizzy. You're gonna.
You can't get dizzy because the visuals are going to take care of that. And the holodeck has it's called, in the technical manual, they call it a treadmill effect. So the holodeck underneath your feet can act as a treadmill.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think you're gonna lose your balance though, because running on a treadmill and running on the street are not the same thing. When you run on a treadmill, you are shifting your weight back and forth from one leg to the other. You're not generating any forward momentum.
Correct. But that's how like the way that I'm really trying to unbury myself here. Yep, I got nothing.
That's like the.
What about if you're a single person on the holodeck? Can you go for a jog? Can you run around, run in a straight line for a mile and it feel normal?
It's kind of like this thing. It's the real life thing Disney made. It's like a treadmill that you can use VR with.
Yes.
It's like a proto holodeck.
Yeah. And that one it's 360, right? You can run it.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Listen, I took a chandelier down playing Wii basketball 10 years ago.
Yeah.
There are certain limitations to all technology.
Did you have your safeties turned off?
Yeah, I did. I had my whole
chandelier
disengaged. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
my iPad's at 4%. If I lose you guys, I'll switch to the phone and be right back.
Okay.
Just so you know.
All right. Well, anything else we want to say about this episode?
I just wanted to say, I had one more note in here that the title itself, "Take Me Out to the Holosuit," was based on, obviously, "Take Me Out to the Ball Game," which was written in 1908 and is the unofficial anthem of baseball.
Okay. Right on.
Yeah, one thing that I was disappointed about, nobody's eating hot dogs.
Yeah.
That's like a baseball thing.
They even mentioned it in... No, that was a different episode. Kira was told about hot dogs. Like, I think they were going to go see they were going to go see a baseball game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like they missed an opportunity where, Quark does a little bit of research and he shows up with a tray
for a minimum
tray. Yep, a tray full of hot dogs and peanuts and Cracker Jacks and root beer.
And root beer.
Yeah.
Cracker Jacks, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is mentioned in "Take Me Out to the Ball Game."
That's right. I think that's the only reason Cracker Jacks are still alive as a company. Is baseball.
Probably.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get to listener feedback then.
Listener feedback.
Have we had any voicemails?
Voicemails, no. We did get some just mention on the Trek account that a lot of people did love this episode. There was a lot of feedback, like, "Oh my god, that's my favorite episode." So,
did they all sounded like that?
They all sounded like every single one. Oh my god! Yeah. Yes,
that's fantastic. I love that.
Interesting. It's weird how you can put that into text, but they did it.
Yeah,
I need you to chamber that voice and save that for another occasion.
All right, we got a few people on the line, so let's get to them. First one to come in is T-Bear. There he is.
Hey,
T-Bear, T-Bear brought a guest. Who's this?
That's my daughter, Phoebe.
Oh. And she walks by.
Phoebe, where you going?
Hi, Phoebe.
Come here, honey.
Hello.
She's grabbing her breakfast from the micro right now. So.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. We'll be on our best behavior.
That's right.
Yeah, not any worse than I probably am sometimes. So say hi, Kate. No, it's not D&D. Oh,
hi.
She just blow up your spot.
Yeah.
Nice.
Say hi.
So what hat are you wearing?
Oh,
you wearing a baseball hat?
She's
the,
multiplying. There's two of them. There's two of them now. They're multiplying. Did you throw water on them? What happened?
That's my older one, Kate. It was a transporter cloning accident. So
there you go.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yep. That's
They're
great.
off camera right now going, Dad is
Yeah.
such a nerd, and so are
Yeah.
his friends.
Oh, they totally know that. Yeah.
I wonder what my kids are thinking. I'm the one hosting this thing.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So I think you're asking which this is a Dodger cap, so LA
Yeah.
Dodgers,
And the Rams
Los
shirt.
Angeles. The Rams shirt, because
Yeah, they're not playing today.
no, every team I was rooting for in the playoffs were.
Hey, my team's not playing either. The Raiders are hosting.
Daniel's throwing shade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I saw a similar one for the Cowboys where they said they're going to play every Super Bowl in the future at the stadium at Dallas, so that way no team ever has home field advantage.
Yeah. Yeah, my team, the Lions, they had a tough one too. The Lions did a fantastic job. They got further than they've gotten in a long time.
Yeah.
I was rooting for the Lions because I'm not really a Niners fan, but so, I just it was everybody against KC because when there's this thing called fantasy football. So it's this thing when nerds record stuff and take the stats and then record them and then
that's right.
What's it called? Fairy tale football?
They roll for initiative and
yeah. I had Kelsey and Mahomes as my fantasy team top picks, and they just disappointed the whole season, and I ended up in last place in my league. So I don't know what the rest of my league mates have planned for me next time we draft because there's usually something for last place. But so I blame them. So I was just going against them the whole time, and sure enough, they keep winning every single game. So here we are today.
Yeah.
Well, I am rooting for the stuffed crust pizza and the boneless buffalo chicken wings, and I have a feeling my team's gonna come through for me.
Dude, stuffed crust pizza is my favorite.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm a fan.
Have you seen the Paramount Plus commercial with Patrick Stewart?
Yes. I love how Patrick Stewart is on that whole episode. That whole.
Oh yes, where he rips off his shirt. He's wearing the old football uniform. That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's like 1942 football
uniform. He's throwing the kid.
It's official that he doesn't care. He doesn't care anymore. It's official.
I like the end when he looks at Pepper Pig like, we need something with pigskin.
Oh my!
Yes. That was great.
Yeah, that was awesome. I couldn't stop laughing, and it was funny. The actual Tua, the quarterback for the Dolphins, it was funny to see that he couldn't make a throw in the cold, which I don't know if they filmed that before the game or if that was just good timing or what, but I thought that was perfect casting on there.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So, who do you think is going to win tonight?
I have a feeling it's going to be the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's going to be pretty close, but it's going to be the Chiefs. They're going to
I believe that's
what
the script says, is that they get to win.
Is that what the script says?
Yeah.
I'm rooting for the 49ers only because there's a couple of Moody and Bell are former Michigan players, and so I'm a big Michigan fan. So that's my reasoning. Plus, they haven't won a Super Bowl in a while. So
you said Michiganders earlier, and all I could picture was geese for some reason.
Would Michiganders make you feel more comfortable?
A-Wolf says that all the Super Bowl commercials have been released before the Super Bowl. Yeah, that's kind of true. A lot of them have.
I've made it a point not to watch them before the Super Bowl. I try to watch them in the moment just because, it's part of the fun of the Super Bowl.
I did read something where they were saying a lot of companies went really conservative on their ads because they're afraid of some kind of backlash or another. And I'm like, that just kills it because some of the greatest ads in the Super Bowl were kind of borderline.
Push the envelope a little bit.
I mean, if I was a company, I would just tag my new commercial as the Super Bowl commercial. You don't have to pay for it.
There you go.
Yeah. All the SEO would just be like, oh, that's the Super Bowl commercial.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean,
that's
what I do.
Is Trekcast doing a Super Bowl commercial?
Yes. I'll do it next.
Okay.
I'll get some footage. We'll do some. No.
Get right on
it.
One
well, we don't have to do a full 30-second ad. We can just do a 15-second ad.
Yeah.
The coffee account should account for that, right?
The coffee account has enough money to buy coffee account is enough money to buy a cameo from 2 Buck Buckeyes. That's about
Yeah. I was gonna say I don't think we could afford a beer at the Super Bowl. Yeah. All right. Anything else you want to bring up, T-Bear?
No, just the Holosuit episode. I think the only reason why it was the first time I actually saw sports-related stuff that's actually in Star Trek.
Yeah.
That's I guess modern or current sports, and I've always joked actually it survived into the 24th century. So at least a sport. I don't know about the leagues or anything like that, but yeah, I always use that when someone comes up to me and says, which sport's better? It's like, well, baseball lasts until the 24th century. I don't know
there you
football, basketball, and everything else is possible, so.
Although in the If Wishes Were Horses episode, I think that's the name of the episode, what Buck Buckeye mentions that during the World Series of 20, I don't remember the date, he said there was only 1,500 people in the stands.
Yeah.
But Cassidy's brother plays in a league because they were starting it back up, and that was the big thing.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yep. So it survived.
Yeah, it was retro.
I'm just waiting for them to start playing it in disco.
Yeah.
Yep.
So far in the future, yes.
That was for you, Dan.
Want some package review of the Super Bowl?
Oh, that'd be awesome.
I bet something could be arranged.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I bet something could be arranged.
Yeah. Talk to them, see what they say.
Okay. All right. Yeah. In fact, I'll make a note of it.
Okay, cool. All right, T-Bear. Well,
right.
Thanks for being on.
See you guys.
See ya. And then we also have got Swifty.
Swifty.
Yeah.
There he is.
There he is.
All right.
What's up, Swifty?
I should have wore a tinfoil hat today. The conspiracy theory, okay?
Which conspiracy?
Taylor Swift.
Oh, yeah.
Who she's going to vote for?
Oh, jeez.
It's Michelle Obama.
Yeah. There you go.
She's going to endorse Michelle Obama.
Will her plane make it in time? She had to fly in from Japan.
Yeah, they had stupid news of her landing the damn airplane. I don't care.
It already landed?
Yeah, where it landed is like,
oh, thank God.
Taylor Swift just landed in Las Vegas.
Oh.
Like, come on, guys. It's just the same.
That's crazy.
It's like, I don't need a news alert.
Like 6 hours or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, gets to fly her private jet, gets to lay down, doesn't have to be in
I'm sure she
the
took
whole
a nap
time.
away. Yeah.
Somebody farting on you. So,
what planes are you flying on?
Spirit, man, all the
Clearly
way.
Southwest.
That's great. That's great.
You gotta bring brass knuckles when you fly now. So,
oh boy,
it's crazy up there now.
Especially you see all those videos. So,
yeah.
Now, T-Bear mentioned baseball with Discovery, where they have detachable baseball gloves to catch the ball.
Oh God!
You're like,
oh man,
just stop.
Oh, poor Dan.
Just stop.
Oh, wait till April, man. It's gonna get. You think it's bad now? Wait till April when Discovery Season 5 comes out.
Yeah, one more season.
We're gonna have to make some meme templates just with Dan. Dan and Discovery. Like one panel can be Green, Sonequa Martin Green. The other panel can be Dan. The other panel can be like the Enterprise, Discovery with.
He's gonna be like, "Oh, my phone's not working this week, guys. So you'll have to
how many episodes are there? 10?
10, I think. Yeah.
Maybe I'll take a 10-week leave of absence.
There you go.
What you do, Dan, is you don't charge your batteries on your phone or your laptop.
Right. There you go. There you go.
I shorted out.
T-Bear says the bats are made of programmable matter.
Yeah. I can tell you there will be some Pack-Lid reviews of Star Trek Discovery. So that will happen.
Great.
A Kelpian cried and ruined baseball. So that's what happened.
Dan's going to be saving a lot of hot dogs.
Yes.
That's what he.
Don't sit near the doors if you fly Alaskan. Is that the one where the door just flew off?
Yeah.
30,000
That's not
feet?
only Alaskan. That's the new Boeing jet.
Yeah, I was going to say it's
found out.
Boeing's fault. That's not Alaska's fault.
Yeah, it's Boeing's fault.
And Alaska is pissed
Apparently they have
about it.
detachable panels too.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
The support beams were Boeing.
Right.
Yes.
American made,
that
guys.
was my
American made.
dad joke.
So.
It's my dad joke.
So, Jasmine, who do you think is going to win tonight?
Taylor Swift.
That's right.
Yeah, Taylor Swift. It's like, and then Travis Kelce will propose, and then it'll be the greatest Super Bowl in the world.
Oh.
If he proposes right then and there, oh God.
Yeah.
If they win the Super Bowl,
and then he gets the engagement ring out, I'm out of here.
Look, I love rig sports, right? I love pro wrestling, but that's too much.
Yeah.
Rig sports.
Yes.
God.
Yes. After that, everybody's gonna say this shit's rigged. So.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. I can't wait for all the Twitter here's the script, all the pictures that'll be up tonight.
Oh yeah. Social media is going to be a buzz.
Yeah.
Oh man. And then
those pictures will come out right after maybe the first quarter when people are like, see, here's the first quarter one. After what just happened, someone will write it out.
Yep.
You know what I hate right now is how they spoil the commercials before they air.
That's the company's doing that though.
Well, in the 90s, right? You used to sit there and you'd watch the commercials because you didn't have the internet, so you had to watch the Budweiser commercial. You had to watch the Bud Bowl, and then all those. So,
but they've realized they can get more traction and more eyeballs by releasing them early because people talk about it. And that's the buzz. That's why
I don't know that. I think I remember more people talking about them in the 90s than I do now. To be honest with you,
I don't know, man. I've seen YouTube reviews. Let's review the Super Bowl commercials. It's so dumb.
Well, yeah, because what they'll do is they'll do it frame by frame. They'll have this Super Bowl commercial. Then they'll play it and they'll be like, ha ha ha. And then they'll post it on TikTok and do their own commentary. So that's kind of like the easiest way to do your own show now on a podcast or YouTube is just take a show and just break it down. So.
You just won the Super Bowl. What are you going to do now? I'm going to marry Taylor Swift. Travis Kelce.
Yeah, T-Berry, probably right.
Probably.
Yeah, then you're instant billionaire. Now you got to deal with Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I love the idea that she's only with him for the money. Like, come on, man.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
She's only with him so she can make another song about the breakup.
There you go.
That's the whole album.
Yeah.
That her heart's broken. She made all these friends, and then has to separate. So,
but the real breakup is the friends we made on the way.
Yes.
Jeez.
Man, let's write the song right now.
That's right.
You need a little drum machine back there or something. You know, the bum, 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 you know.
Yeah. All right.
Did you guys?
Anything else you want to bring up?
Well,
what did you think of the episode?
Mr. Wheaton wrote a letter. That
Yeah.
So just don't strangle Muppets, and you'll be all right. That's all I gotta say. Don't strangle Muppets.
I try not to strangle Muppets every day, but it's hard. Yeah. But I try not to.
I strangle every Muppet I see on the street.
There you go. Just
I might have missed something.
Will Wheaton be damned?
Will be damned. I guess you didn't read that Facebook.
Yeah, Larry.
Yeah,
Larry
I saw it. Yeah.
Larry David assaulted Elmo on the news on some show. I don't know which
he
show.
just went up to him and did that, just
yeah.
And then Will Wheaton has this whole essay of
Will Wheaton lost his shit.
He had something to say about it.
Look on the Facebook group and you'll see it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Will needs to chill out a little bit.
Yeah. Will's it's like
taking some things a little too seriously.
Not like just screaming and yelling at him. If he were written it in a normal manner, like why it's wrong, but the way he did it, he did it in a total rant,
Yeah.
To be fair, Elmo is red, so the instant you see him, you just rage. You
just see
exactly.
He's like a bull.
Like a bull. Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Larry probably heard that voice and is like, I can't take it anymore. It's like it's like an episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm. If you watch Curb
It
Your
is.
Enthusiasm,
The whole thing
that's
is total
exactly what Larry.
enthusiasm.
That's exactly what Larry would do. He would go up there, and then somebody would write this letter and yell at him, and that's exactly how an episode of Curb.
Is it possible that all this was staged?
Why not?
If it is, it'd be the greatest episode of Curb.
You mean staged like the Super Bowl, or
no? Yeah,
no, just
because we're all talking about it now,
right? Right.
Yeah. We'll read it, Scott, and you're going to be like, "Oh my god."
Okay, I will.
Yeah,
I will.
Because when you read it,
it'll be my halftime show.
I mean, it makes sense in other ways because it's it's like physical abuse is bad, but there's the thing is like Bart Simpson and Homer. Like, what did you always see Homer do? He always strangled Bart.
Strangled Bart,
yeah. And then all the old cartoons back in the day we grew up with. That was the thing,
Right.
So, right. I don't know. Just chill out, Will. Calm down.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, Dan's moving.
I'm moving.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. All right. Well, anything else you want to bring up?
We got a crotch shot right there, guys.
We got a crotch shot there.
We got a crotch shot.
Yeah. I'm gonna...
Put a fork in him. He's done.
All right. There he is. There he is.
Hey.
Oh. Awolf asking the real questions. What snacks have you prepared for the Super Bowl today?
I'm going to make my own ranch dip for the first time. I've never done that before. So.
Oh, okay.
Hellman's Ranch, or just
like a powder and sour cream, or what?
When I say my own, I mean it's one step above the jar. I got some sour cream and some ranch. A ranch packet,
mayonnaise, milk, together.
I've
done those before. It's pretty good.
So,
yeah.
I mean, I didn't actually grow all the herbs and spices and culture the sour cream myself, but
I went and bought some chips.
Is what you're saying?
Use your barometer.
Yeah, pretty much.
Make sure the temperature
I'm
was
to make sure the barometer is set right.
That's right.
Oh boy. I think I did use separate sentences in that. I think I was using two separate analogies. Dan.
Dan ruined it.
I'm going to send you a very stern text message after this is over.
There you
go. It's going to say, screw you.
Yeah. Well, you got to call me out like that, man.
That's your job. You say stuff, and I make fun of you for it.
That's how it works.
We discussed that during the interview.
That's right.
Can't change the terms now.
Do you think Chad is blasting Taylor Swift music right now?
I know he is.
For the Super Bowl.
I'm gonna call him later and find out.
Yep.
Yes.
I'm gonna win. I'm gonna root for Kansas City to win. Just for my buddy Chad.
Just for Chad.
In reality, I couldn't care.
See, I hate the 49ers. I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan, so I hate the 49ers.
I grew up in California, so I gotta go 49ers.
Okay, so I guess it's me and you, Daniel.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. So
I really don't care, but yeah.
Yeah, the Lions are out. Tom Brady doesn't play anymore, so.
KC Masterpiece is one of my favorite barbecue sauces. So.
Gotcha.
There you go.
Hey, you got to make a connection somehow.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this: Texas barbecue is better than Kansas City.
Oh man!
Ooh, shots fired.
Yeah.
Shots fired. Well, see, they like to smother theirs in barbecue sauce. Texas barbecue is to grill it, and then it just falls off the bone. Then you dip it in barbecue sauce.
Yeah. So
You're making me hungry.
I'm probably gonna upset a lot of people, but my all-time favorite barbecue sauce is McDonald's barbecue sauce.
Yeah. Okay. Everybody who just heard that, keep in mind, Dan is
like
a New
my
Yorker.
wife. You're like my wife.
Enough said.
Yeah. You're exactly like my wife.
Yeah.
You don't get an opinion on barbecue sauce.
No, that's a terrible opinion on
or salsa.
A bottle that was on the shelf at the store, I would buy it.
Man, sweet and sour sauce. Yeah.
Don't anybody Photoshop what Dan just did and put that in his mouth. Don't anyone do that.
We got a crotch shot today, and now he's guzzling. So
whatever.
Look at that. I broke Scott.
Where's my mute button?
All right.
We lost Scott. His face is turning red.
Okay. And we're back.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I'm starting to cry.
So emotional. All right.
I suppose me saying that McDonald's barbecue sauce is my favorite barbecue sauce is not that much different than you guys in Chicago putting that shit in front of me and telling me it was pizza. So.
That's right. Hey, you said you liked it.
Yeah, I say a lot of things, Dan.
Didn't you say didn't you say it was like lasagna on bread or something like that?
It was pizza soup in a bread bowl. That's
pizza soup. Yeah.
And actually, in Dan's defense, he says he likes the McDonald's barbecue sauce. I got to thinking, I like the Arby's sauce, which is barbecue sauce. So yeah, okay, it's good. Although I actually have bought Arby's sauce in a bottle.
Wow.
Okay.
What about
they sell it at Menards, which is our local home improvement center.
The home improvement store.
I buy all my sauces at Home Depot.
There's expiration dates 1998 on it.
Right.
It's aged. It's aged, Swifty.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks for being on there.
Right, thank you guys.
For food cap.
All right. Anything else we want to bring up before we wrap it up?
No.
Okay.
Speaking of food cast, we should talk a little bit about Star Trek food sometime in the near future.
Oh yeah. We'll do that.
I'd like to
real quick. Let me respond to T-Bear. That barbecue sauce belongs nowhere near pizza.
Indeed.
Nowhere near.
What about barbecue chicken pizza?
I was just going to say that, Dan. Yeah.
Nope.
What?
Okay.
Nope.
All right.
Come on. All right. Well,
listen, I will get in the car and drive over there and explain to you why. I'll show you this point and I'll show you this point. And I think you understand.
Fair.
So
it's a 10-hour drive from your place to my place, so I will see you just after the Super Bowl.
All right. I'm on my way. I'm already.
Oh yeah, no pineapple. Exactly.
I would like to mention something that we recently, and a big shout out to you guys, and especially to you, Daniel. We just reached 10,000 followers on Instagram.
That's right.
So that's awesome. Thanks to everybody in the audience and all the Instagram followers. That's a great milestone. That's a lot. That's a lot.
That's a lot of people.
Keep it up. I was also going to mention, follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and we're on TikTok. Every once in a while, I'll be scrolling through TikTok, and then all of a sudden, I'll see my ugly mug on there, and it's like, whoa, I'm on TikTok now. So you can email us at trekcasttng at gmail.com, and our phone number, if you want to send us a voicemail, is 570-661-0001, and leave us a voicemail. We'll play it on the show.
Indeed.
As far as TikTok, you got to refer to it like my dad. It's either TikTok or Tickety Talk. You just can't say
Talk. Yeah. Check out Trekcast, TikTok, and the Tickety Talk, and leave us a comment and subscribe.
Absolutely.
We're a podcast. Subscribe to us
we're
on
also
whatever.
on Threads, but whatever.
Also on Threads. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's one of the ways you can support the show. Is by subscribing and by leaving a comment, giving a thumbs up, a like, all that kind of stuff. So share it on your Insta, MySpace or whatever. So
your Friendsters.
Yep, we would appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. All right.
There, I did my bit of producing.
There you go. Well, thanks everybody for listening. We'll be back next week with God knows what.
All right.
All right.
Sounds good.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
This is Captain Benjamin Sisko of Deep Space Nine and Space God to the Bajorans. I have a mission for you. This falls outside of Starfleet guidelines, so I can't order you, but I'm asking for volunteers. Volunteers who will subscribe to the Trekcast YouTube channel, leave 5-star reviews on your podcast app of choice, and and share Trekcast across your social media accounts. If we can make our audience bigger, we might have a chance against the Dominion. Are you ready? Subscribe, like, and share. Are you with me?